Can you believe it? Today we have a very special guest, a band that's been on my list since the beginning when we started in May 2020. They are beloved across Hawaii and soon going to the mainland to make big waves once again. We've got their new album here. We're going to be celebrating that and also some exciting gigs and just really have a good time with our friends of the one and only, the ukulele-powered Hawaiian jam rock band, the sensational Without Boundaries, my good friends, Kanekoa.
Yes. Hello.
We're going crazy. The fans are. We got Koa heads all over the place outside here.
Koa heads.
We are live. I know I'm loving using that word. Good job. So we were live and lively, of course, from Backlit Buddhist Studios, which we are so blessed to have as our new streaming home. And I get to be in the studio live, which is even better because no offense to Zoom, I'm kind of over it. And I love like live action, and it's so beautiful that we're able to get out and kind of do these shows again. So thanks, guys, for joining us.
Of course.
Man, from left to right, Guys, I love you guys. I feel like I've known you for so long. Uncle Don Lopez.
Aloha.
The legend, the bass, the producer, everything. He's the man. Of course, we've got Vince Esquire on ukulele, singer, songwriter, guitar. Kaulana Kanekoa.
Aloha.
Of course, Kanekoa's name. And, of course, ukulele, singer, songwriter, beautiful soul. And our friend, of course, the OG, Travis Rice, percussion cajon. Lover, fighter, father, leader. And Star Wars aficionado. We'll talk more about that later. And Tool, two of the coolest things in the world. So we've got a lot to talk about. I'm so thankful to have this show. If it wasn't for Mana'o Radio reaching out to me, thank you so much for being such a supporter. I love to just get on this microphone and talk story, and you guys do all the other great stuff, which helps me so much. I'm definitely not the tech Trish. I'm definitely more of the content girl. So thank you so much for keeping us live and lively. Episode number 46, we had John Cruz, then we had Murray Thorne, and now we have Kanekoa.
Right.
I mean, this is how we rocking this year, okay? So let's get this party started. We got a new album to talk about, so much going on, new management, and man, we could talk for a few hours, but let's just get started with some music, huh?
Okay.
All right, what are we gonna do first?
Yeah. Lightest load. Okay.
We're
Whole
going to do a
thing.
song off our new album.
Yep.
Called Lightest Load. And this is actually the one song off the new album, Songs from the Great Disruption, that does not have a guest artist on it. So this is what leads the album off.
Yeah.
Never forget.
madness I see. It's madness I see. In my father's land, in my mother's home, where they shared and it's injustice I see. It's injustice I see. It's up to my knees. There's blood in the streets of the town of Chicago. There's blood on the rise, it's following me. Just about the break of day. She came and then she drove away. Sunlight in her head. roots on the river sadness, yeah. Dead blood in the streets, it's up to my thigh. Where the river runs down by the length of the city, where rivers are crying, women are weeping, yeah. Rivers are crying, women are weeping. She came and then she drove away. Sunlight in her hair. Town of New Haven, bloodstains a roost in the palm trees, Waluku. Bloody my love in a terrible summer, bloody red sun of fantastic LA. Blood screen the brand and chopped off the finger. Blood have been falling in the birth of a nation. I said blood is a rose of mysterious union. Blood is a rose of mysterious union, yeah. Blood is a rose, yeah. Blood is a rose, blood is a rose, yeah. Blood is a rose. Riders on the stone, riders on the stone, unto this house we're born, yeah, to this world we're thrown, like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan. Riders on the stone, girl, you gotta love your man. Take him by the hand, make him understand that the world on you depends, on life will never end. Gotta love your man. Oh, baby. Up to my ankle, there's blood in the street, it's up to my knee. There's blood in the streets of town of Chicago, yeah. There's blood on the rise, it's following me. There's blood on the rise, it's following me. There's blood on the rise, it's following me. There's blood on the rise, it's following me.
All right, and that's it. That's the whole show, guys.
you, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
Mahalo, good night. Have a good night.
That was our one song an hour.
I was seriously like, I'm having this is amazing. We just had like 4 in a row. That was great. I always forget how beautiful you guys play the Doors. It's just like, just seamlessly, you know? By the way, that song is great. Lightest Load.
Yeah.
It's such a great
Thank
song.
you.
I love this album.
Thank you.
My neighbor's getting sick of it. Yeah. It's nice to have a tangible album.
Yes.
Too, like old school. Like, of course, I love the artwork, and of course, and I just like the personal touch of everything, and also all of the special guests. I mean, it's insane. Like every song, you're like, oh yeah, Tavana. Oh, John Cruz. G Love. Wait, Amy Hanayali'i and Eric Gilliam. Oh, Jake Schumer-McCurl. No big deal. Like it's like every single song. Is this kind of like an album you guys have been wanting to do for a long time and have all these great friends and people that you've been comrades in the scene with? It's kind of like feels like all this like great friendship came together on this album.
It kind of happened a little more organically than that. We were playing one night, and Barry was playing in front of us, Barry Flanagan.
Yes.
And we were sitting outside, and the boys were all sitting. We were all going, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Barry would sit in with us maybe on an album? Let's go ask him. So we walked in, and he went, oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
And so that kind of became the theme for the whole thing, right? None of these people were really sought. We just kind of said, hey, would you like to sit in on this album? And it was all volunteer, and everybody was, yeah.
Everyone was stoked.
Yeah, and it's really an
And you never
unusual
know till-
thing.
yeah.
You never know till you
Yeah.
ask.
And also, you guys are always sharing the stages, and you've come up together, and you've played different shows together, and you've seen your journeys go here and there. And it's probably, they're fans of yours, too. It's such a great, the ebb and flow of Hawaii's music scene is such a beautiful thing. And that's why I always come back to it. And this album is really a culmination of that. Plus, I mean, can we talk about Steve Berlin? I'm sorry. Who produced this album? Do people know that? We need to talk about that more.
We kind of, as we started working through it.
I'm listening to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, he's
Well-
like his little pieces are in every part.
Well, and that's the part, at least for me, like, he's actually the ringer. Like, this is the guy who's multiple Grammys as a producer and an artist. He will be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we're on a Zoom with him twice a week, just kind of hanging out, calling him Steve.
Uncle
But-
Steve.
Uncle Steve. But initially, he didn't. Danny Owen. Danny, are you out there?
Yeah, Danny.
Love you, Danny.
So Danny
buddy.
started this, actually.
Oh, wonderful.
So we did some tours with Los Lobos, and initially when you meet Steve, probably because he meets everybody, he's kind of curmudgeon-y. But then
That's a
once
great
we
word.
played, he was like, "Oh yeah, I like you guys." You know,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
you guys
But
are
basically, we told Danny Owen, who's a Manao radio DJ, works at the Mac,
Pono concert.
Pono
Pono
concerts.
concerts. Yes, thank you.
And then Danny kind of looks at me. I think it was Kalon and I were behind the Mac after we did a show, and Danny goes, "Oh, Steve Berlin, like you guys know him?" We're like, "Yeah." And Danny goes, "So do you know he's kind of one of the top cheese producers?" And we're like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." Basically, there's in the world of jam band music, there's two guys. There's Steve on the West Coast, and there's his name's the bass player for Widespread Panic.
Dave Schools.
So
Dave
he's
Schools
the East
was
Coast
in
guy,
that.
and we're like, "Really?"
Jerry
And-
Joseph's player. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
And so Danny's like, he should have him work on an album. We're like, really? You think he would? We're all, the self-conscious artist kind of thing. And Danny wrote him an email, and Steve immediately wrote back and was like, oh yeah, I'd love to work with those guys. So originally,
You're like fangirl.
Yeah, exactly.
it was totally this, I
Yeah.
can't believe this is real kind of thing. Originally, he was going to come out to Maui, and we were going to do it much more straightforward, 2 weeks here, bust it out. And then the world changed. And then we, like everybody else, weren't doing anything for a bit. And then we started playing a little bit, and then, at least my memory, it was kind of the realization of kind of like the Barry idea. We're kind of like, wait, Steve's not even doing anything. Nobody's doing anything.
Nobody's
right
doing
now.
anything.
work, yeah.
And-
now's the time. Time to work.
And then we did that. And the other part about this album is we did this all remotely.
Yeah.
Steve Berlin was at his home in Vancouver, Washington.
Or on tour.
Or on
On
tour
tour.
out of his hotel
Be
room.
in his hotel room
So
working with
literally,
us.
and then everybody else. I think John Cruz we had John here on Island, Amy, Eric,
Everybody who
Jerry,
lived here could be here.
could be
Yeah.
here. But everybody else, the whole thing was done remotely.
Right.
And now you can do that. We're
And
in
now
a
we can do
time
that.
you can do that. You don't have to
Yeah.
have the studio and rent it for hours
Right.
and
Exactly.
spend the money.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, before we get too far, I want to thank Tom Littell, too,
Yes.
who works at Manao Radio. And Tom really helped us make the relationship with Los Lobos
Los
when we were
Lobos,
on the
yeah.
road.
Wonderful.
And helped us with everything on the road. And so
Thanks,
Tom
Tommy.
really solidified that relationship. But so by the time Steve we came around. We were already ready to go with Berlin, and he was ready to go with us. So it's just awesome, Trish.
What was it like being at the Mac recently? Just be like, hey man, what's up? Yeah, thanks for the album for
We hadn't,
Yeah.
we hadn't
Oh,
seen
we'll
him in
open for
person
you,
in
like,
we hadn't
what
seen
a
him in
cool
person in what,
moment.
3
3
years?
years?
3 years,
4
yeah.
years?
2-3
Nice.
years.
So it was reunion.
It's a weird thing, like when you.
You're friends with him.
Yeah, when you.
He's like
and-
uncle. He's
Yeah,
like,
or the rest of Los Lobos guys, we gave them little gift bags. You know, 'cause we're in Hawaii, and being like, hey, thank you so much. We had like Louie, he's the kind of shorter guy of those. They're approaching us like, hey, what's up? How you doing, Travis? You're just like, yeah, hey, what's up, Louie? Shit.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's just it's just a weird. You're just like all of a sudden realize they're people. They're people like you, and they actually like you. And like, wow, this is really cool and different and weird.
And he gets to play on the album. You hear the
Yes.
sax. You hear the
Yeah.
keys.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, for
Yes.
a fan, isn't that what a beautiful?
We kind of had to convince him to do the sax thing though.
Yeah.
We kept asking
Is
him.
that
We had to
okay?
keep asking him to do the sax thing. So
Remember his
Come on,
initial
that's like-
response?
yeah.
He
His
was like,
initial
"Yeah,
response
yeah,
was, he's like, man, I can't even afford myself.
He's like, you can't pull myself.
Oh, yeah.
And so we kind of kept like.
I said, Steve, you should play the sax on this song.
The
We
sax
never
sax
had-
would sound really nice.
It would
on
sound
this
great
show.
if you played sax on this track. After a while, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll come back and talk about more. We're here with Kanekoa.
All right.
We're so excited to have him here. 25 years. So that's what I was going to say before. You don't get that sound in like a couple years. Like that opening song was like, wow. That really shows like the relationship and the cohesiveness and how you trust each other and you're able to go off. And it's just a really cool thing to see. You can really see, the
Thank you.
relationships. When we come back,
Thank
we'll
you,
be
Trish.
talking about how this band came together and also some more players and what's going on for the future. So what do we have next? I just want to make sure I get some in. I don't know if we're going to have another 10 minutes
Yeah,
song.
We don't either.
We don't
We have
either.
no idea.
Good.
Let's do California.
We could.
You want
Okay.
to intro this one?
Yeah. So this is the song that we were fortunate enough to have Jake Shimabukuro join us on this album. Honor for all of us, I think. We're all fans. So one of the 2 covers as well, Led Zeppelin, Going to California.
And like a lot of people on this earth, Page and Plant are unbelievable. So, celebration of Page and Plant.
What's special about this song too, in our album at least, like John Berger, he's a writer on Star Advertiser in Wahoo. He said it perfectly. Basically said, this has Jake and Vince on it. Vince is right, Jake's left. And John Berger even said, this is a song you want to put some headphones on or some big speakers, because it's just this ukulele kaleidoscope of ukulele sounds. That was the point of the song, was just to have those 2 paint the picture.
Yeah, it's
And we
pretty
did it.
special. It's pretty special.
I call it ear candy.
Spend one day with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink on my wine. Made up my mind, make a new start, going to California with an egghead in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there, loving her eyes and flowers in her head, in her head. Took my chances on a big jet plane, never let them tell the world to say. She was red and the sky was gray. how tomorrow could ever follow today. Mountains and the canyons start to tremble and shake. Children of the sun began to awake. Watch out, watch out. Find a queen without a king. She plays ukulele and cries and sings. La 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 la. Ride a white mare in the footsteps of dawn. Try to find a woman who's never, never, never been born. Been born. Been born, yeah. Standing on a hill in a mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. Standing on a hill in a mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems.
I'm never gonna be upset when there's Zeppelin involved. And Kanekoa, it's like a dream. It's like magic. Oh, that was so beautiful. Thank you guys.
Thank
what a
you.
cool homage. Like, you know, being able to take a song like that and then take it on a new journey, especially with Jake and you together. Oh,
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah, yeah.
This is so cool. Thank you guys for being here. Now, I want to go back to the roots. We're talking roots because obviously roots stylings, but I want to know where the seed of Kanekoa, where it happened. Obviously, your name, Kanekoa. But Brave Man is brave.
Kanekoa is the warriors of Kane, the god Kane.
Okay.
Right. And a lot of people think, well, you know, it's man and brave.
Yeah,
Some people think man and Koa wood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the warriors of Kane. And Kanekoa is actually a chief from Big Island many centuries ago.
Educate
right?
us. Yes, I want to know.
Kekuhaupio and Kanekoa were kind of like Kamehameha the Great's general. They were like his trainers as they brought him up, and so they were his uncles. And soon after Kamehameha was born, they both passed, but they were all part of what was called the Olapa, which was a giant regimen of fighting warriors that were under Kalaniʻōpuʻu on the Big Island. So it goes way back to that, right? But we, you know, it's funny because we thought of different names, and then we were like, you know what, let's just drop Kanekoa, and the funny thing was, it was kind of at the same time, Trish, like early '90s, when there was a lot of bands like dropping out one name, Hawaiian. But they were all reggae bands and Hawaiian bands, so we figured we'd drop it out there. And then when people would come, they would probably expect, you know what I mean, reggae or like totally traditional, and then we would just thrash on them with rock music. But
It's becoming its own genre.
yeah, right. So when I was a boy, my father moved me and my 4 brothers to the mainland, up to a couple different places: Vegas, Salt Lake City. We ended up in Reno, and by the time I hit high school, that's when I met Trav. Me and Trav were in athletics together, playing music. I mean, we're playing music, listening to music, and then playing football all the time. And
Which
so,
you don't really know a lot of football players that are such good musicians.
Right.
You
You
get
know
a
what I
big
mean?
hands. You're like, yeah, let's go.
and we used to do horrible impressions, and everybody would be like, "Bro, shut up, stop already, bro."
Yeah, it's true.
But right after high school, I wanted to come back home and be close to my family and my ohana here, mainly my kupuna. So came home right after high school, maybe a couple years after high school. Travis was just finishing college. He came back here too at the same time. We kind of met back up, and then the seed for Kanekoa kind of started right there. But really, when we met up with Vince, that's kind of when it kind of came
How old
forward.
was Vince? Because if you've been together 25 years.
Vinny,
How, you were like 12?
13?
yeah, I
12.
want to say it was 12.
13.
Yeah, it was 12 because
13.
we didn't start playing till 13. But we met Vin when he was 12. And then we started playing when he was 13. And it wasn't until you know what I mean, 15 or 16 that we actually started playing out to people all the time.
But you still needed a guardian.
Right.
Right.
You guys were like
Yes.
the older brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, I
Eat
remember.
fries and play.
That's
what
what
I
it
know
was.
Steve rules on. If he has a plate of fries in front of him, then
You can
guardian.
stay. Yeah, it's all
Do
good.
whatever he wants.
Hey,
to
you don't
play.
want to mess with Rudy, Vinny's
Yeah,
dad. man.
exactly.
So Rudy would always be like, "You just take care of him. You take
Of
care of my
course,
boy."
oh.
We'd be like, "You know that."
So, yeah, I'm not messing with that. Mom and Dad.
Actually, Gisela told me last time I saw her. She told me she had a good story. She said, "Do you remember that time you guys took? It was like Vinny was like 15. You guys went to the Hard Rock." I'm like, "Yeah." I think we were somewhere in Key Air. We came and picked them up. And she said she'll always remember. She's like, "Yeah, I'm watching these guys, these early 20s guys, driving off with my 14-year-old to go play a show." You know, she remembers it vividly. We're all like waving at, like, "Hey, see you later." You know,
We'll be back.
bring your
It's
kid
like
back.
the Scooby-Doo wagon.
Yeah.
They're like,
Pretty
oh
much.
dear. Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
pretty much.
The mystery machine, totally.
But Trish, it for real, it dawned on us early that we were doing something against the flow, and that we were doing something that just the 3 of us were doing. So that's of course became more of a bond. We were all good friends already, but that became something. That became our thing, right? And so our thing eventually just kept going and going. And like any long-term band, here we are all these years later. It's like a marriage. We've all fought and,
Yeah.
and apologized. We've
And
all
you've had other
stormed out of
lovers
the room
come
on
in
each
and out of
other.
the band.
Exactly.
Totally.
It's true.
For real, no,
Many,
for real.
many, right?
Well,
Many.
it's like the whole
Many.
ethos of the whole band. I mean, and you correct me if I'm wrong. This is my recollection, Vinny. But I remember it was Sil Wilfred's. Remember Sil Wilfred's in the
Yeah,
Nye Mall?
yeah.
And so our significant others dragged Kalani and I down there because I think
Open
he
mic.
was working there, open mic, and then they connected us with Vinny, and I think he sat with us and played. And Vince told us a story. Basically, he had just been kicked out of like a kid Joanne band,
Yeah.
and we're like, really, why? Because we come from like dead songs and improvisational, whatever. And we're like, why did they kick you out? And he's like, well, because he was playing too much,
Yeah.
or he was doing what he wants to do,
Soloing
Yeah.
too.
soloing.
Solo.
And he kind of looked. He
They
looked
don't
at,
like that in reggae.
exactly. He looks at us. He's like, yeah, that's what happened. I think Kalani were both are just like, you can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
anytime you want.
They-
That's the whole point of
They
this.
didn't
like
like me
she-
using my wah-wah pedal.
Oh, poor. Well, Stevie Wonder taught you well. You know what you were doing. Oh, so you were like, oh, that's so wonderful. And then, I mean, seriously, when I got off the plane in 2007, it was like under the coconut sky was like handed to you when you got
Yeah.
off the plane. It was like John Cruz, Island Style, Kanekoa. Like, here's your packet of Maui musicians, learn them.
Totally.
Like every radio station I went to, your album was just live and playing, and those songs became part of a lot of people's lives.
Right.
Like that music, and now it's so interesting because you guys are still making music and you're still going. And I don't know, I could talk to you guys forever. Let's play some more music,
Right.
but we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with, the tour and having this new album and having a management team.
Oh,
And
sort of-
merch.
and merch.
The
Look
indus-
at this. I know. I mean, we are decked out here. Even Yoda is hooked up.
Baby
Okay.
Yoda. Yoda's got the
We're
pen.
rocking this.
Things have kind of caught up with us now. Finally, I think
Yeah.
that's what. And forever
way
we
to
were
look at it.
kind of like they're so awesome, and was our Achilles heel too.
Yeah.
Because we were saying
The
something.
fans are here, though.
Yeah.
They're so happy for you. And
Totally.
maybe I know
That's
this is
great.
sad. We don't want COVID to be like a thing, but some of the bands that I've loved for so long have all of a sudden COVID kind of gave them that little light
Right.
again,
Totally.
you know? To like, because we were so busy working.
Right.
And everyone's gigging. It's like you don't really have time to create and go over those notes or
Right.
maybe, investigate that feeling. And then we had a lot of the time to
Yeah,
investigate
exactly.
feelings.
Yeah, well,
And now we're ready to be live again.
Nothing
so.
but time.
the modern Renaissance, right? It's the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Absolutely.
Let's
Yeah.
take it there.
Some of the greatest art came from dark times.
That's right.
what I
Exactly. It
say.
always comes to that. The roaring 20s will come here,
Yes,
everybody.
we
Just
are.
hold on. We
Woo!
will get there.
Let's get these flapper girls
Are we
out
going to
here.
have to flap?
Yeah, I will dance outside the box this year. All right, the Maui box. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, you can tip the talents. This is a gig. Go to at Kanekoa band, and they're on PayPal and on Venmo, and then also Cody. Mahalo to Cody from CQ Audio.
Cody.
Love you, Cody.
Yeah, Cody.
Seriously, he elevates the show every
Yep.
time I come into the studio. It's like a new camera, a new microphone.
That's right.
I mean,
He's a wizard.
He's a
he is
wizard.
our
He
wizard.
is,
That's
man.
what I call him.
He's
He's
a
the wizard. So thank you guys so much for being here, and of course, Backlit Buddhist Studios. We even got Tempa on the video today.
Yay.
We do everything here. Okay, let's have some more live music from Connie Koa.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
This was on a surf video recently. I'm sure we'll put the specific one later on the comment section. Hands of the Truth.
Gray sky, cool night. Another mountain he climbed, another pass he can't hide. You know his body ain't right. He fled for his life across the Polly and trails, across the Polly and trails where the Ali reside. Run down blood. I said I come from the ocean. Run down blood. I said I come from the fruit. Run down blood. From the line of the old chief. Run down blood. In the hands of the true. In the hands of the true. In the hands of the true. Sunrise on tired eyes. Escape through the meadows, through the beaches and pools where they defended their life. You know what I like. It's widely advised that the strong do survive, but alive is the price. Yeah, yeah. Run down blood. I said I come from the ocean. Run down blood. I said I come from the fruit. Run down blood. From the line of the old chief. Run down blood. In the hands of the true. In the hands of the true. Well, in the hands of the true. down blood. I said I come from the ocean, run down blood. I said I come from the fruit, run down blood. From the line of the old chief, run down blood. In the hands of the true, in the hands of the true, well, in the hands of the true.
This is definitely one of my favorite shows because it's like the music's so good and uplifting and fun. And I love all four of you. Like, honestly, I feel like we're just hanging out. Like I wish we could hang out even more. Maybe
Right.
one day we can make this more of a lounge.
Someday.
We'll be able to do it free, but we are so excited to have Kanekoa here live in the Backlit Buddha Studios. This music just makes you feel good. And I want to talk a little bit more about the album, Songs from the Great Disruption, which, by the way, who came up with the title? I really like it. It reminds me
I
of
remember Uncle Don.
Uncle Don, yeah?
That was Uncle Don. Yeah.
Uncle, like, it like from the Great Depression, the stories. Remember, it was like different stories of
Yep.
the arts. That's what it was. So it reminded me of that. Very reminiscent.
I guess it was about 7 or 8 years ago I started thinking of the internet and what was happening as the Great Disruption. And sure enough, it came to be. And, you know, yeah, it's kind of how things is.
And you know, the album, it's different layers. It's not like once you listen to it, each song is almost like its own journey, you know? Especially at the end with the 3 songs, which I want to talk a little bit about. What happened and how he became, and I've now discovered him through you, and now I'm looking back and listening to all this old music, and I'm like, oh wow, this guy's a legend.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know this.
That was
name.
the idea.
Yeah, like you're educating me. So tell us a little bit about Kumu Hewitt. Hewitt.
Yeah.
Hewitt.
I can't say that. Please say the Hawaiian name. His beautiful
Frank
Hawaiian name.
Kapu Kavaiolani, I believe.
Yeah.
Hewitt. But Uncle Frank, so Frank
Uncle
is
Frank.
yeah, Frank has been a Kumu for years, probably since the mid 70s. He's a professor at University of Hawaii, Hawaiian Studies, Hawaiian language, and he released a couple albums in the early 80s that were just like pivotal in the way of like they were Hawaiian, they sounded like traditional Hawaiian songs, but they weren't they were reminiscent of traditional, but they weren't the same traditionals like Ahilama, No Hopai Pai, or certain ones that you would hear in usual sets. He was writing his own, just like Kaylee Rachel would do after him. Just like inspiring people to write in Hawaiian, but their own music. And so when you hear the album is called Makalapua Oe, and if you guys see it out there, Makalapua Oe by Frank Hewitt. Wonderful album. Every single song is beautiful. And
Yeah, they have someone put up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like and I've been listening to it. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Thank you
beautiful.
so
at
much.
the time, I think it's like 82, and he's singing with a youth choir here somewhere on Maui, and they're all doing the call and the refrain parts to it, and it's beautiful. And so, anyway, being a huge fan of his when I was a kid, I remember when John Cruz many years ago had redone Kavailehua, which is also one of Frank Hewitt's songs, same album. So I always wanted to do the one that we do, and I always just had thought about, well, you know, I don't know if it would matter to Uncle Frank. I don't know if he even cares if I did this. So that's when the whole story came about of us
You reached
getting a
out.
hold of him, reaching out, and starting to do that. And I really give it up to my brother Travis, because my brother Travis helped me
Yep.
press forward to get a hold of Uncle Frank and to make that happen and to make him. We actually wanted him to be on the album. So how are we gonna? Because we didn't think I wanted to, you know, have him sing, but that wasn't gonna happen. He wanted us to be singing his song. So to have him. To have him do Olelo or anything was wonderful, but
Yeah.
what he ended up with was just magic, yeah.
It's really special part of the album. You don't expect it. All of a sudden, I was like, what happened? And then I was like,
Right.
It's
It's this whole little.
it was this old like beautiful nugget. And then of course you have Amy on the song
man,
with
right?
Eric and
Yeah.
everyone
Queen
just
diva of Hawaiian
Oh,
music.
Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah, she did it justice.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Oh, yeah.
beautiful song.
And then she wanted to do backgrounds.
Yeah.
Rather than singing the
Singing.
leads,
Yeah.
she would almost demanded,
Yeah,
like, no,
she's
no,
like,
I just want
I
to
just
sing
wanna
backgrounds.
Oh,
So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this album is such a treat for
The
your
thing
fans.
what I like about that 3 thing is 3 tracks, because so he called us on the phone and we stuck the phone to the microphone, and so basically for me, what's really cool about it is that this is the first Hawaiian song sung in Hawaiian where somebody is telling you in English what the song is going to be about. And then so we just stuck it up to the mic. He called us and he said it in English. And then Vinny did his wizardry on it, made something like a voicemail. But which is really cool. The really neat thing though, this is my dorky kind of academic thing. He's a native Hawaiian speaker growing up with it. And as Kalana has educated me, and I've heard, there's a difference between people who learn Hawaiian in academia, people who grew up with it. So that end thing was a gift he gave us. And Kalana can tell you what he's saying, but like it's like John Berger said it. He said this is an instant, how do you say it? An instant time capsule of what somebody in 2022 that grew up speaking Hawaiian sounds like. This is, and when you listen to it, it's going to sound different to you. All the inflections and the rhythm of it is you don't hear that very often. So yeah, the 3 songs, I listen to it all the time. Gives me chicken skin every single time.
And George Kawamoku Jr.
Right.
too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
Uncle
no
George.
slouch
Yeah.
on this
No.
record. I mean, jeez Louise.
Yeah, and
Jerry
it's like
Portuguese,
an objectively beautiful song. I asked my wife,
Yeah.
I was like, Marcia,
I didn't
I think this is like
expect
a
it.
beautiful song. Can you check me? She's like, no,
She
this
gave
is
it
like
to
a beautiful song. And I'm like a, like movie heartfelt, reconciliation in the movie kind of song. You know what I mean? Like just crying kind of thing. So
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. When music makes you cry, yeah. Recently, I've been listening to more like positive, like like cry, like groups of people singing, like chorals, like
Right.
and it just gets you. Like there's something
Right.
about it. It's so emotive. Like especially everything we've been going through in the last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Everyone's going through. It's like to see I don't know. It's beautiful.
it's
So
no, it is.
It's just really beautiful.
Everybody can sing,
Ah,
and
we're
and
emotional.
just some people can push them on us.
Yeah.
The person who's doing your camera right now.
Yes.
And she growls. That's why I like Tempa
She can
growls.
tell you too that everybody can sing. It's just some people are better at sharing it with other people than other. Those super intimate moments, a lot of people just keep that to themselves. Am I right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to be able to do it on stage in front of a bunch of people and be able to pull it off.
Yeah. Especially now,
That's
like
the deal.
everybody's been trying. The musicians, we've been trying to hustle. How can we play music during all this and be respectful and do it? As much for us, but what we've seen is COVID took all the fun things away.
Ugh.
The hugs and the kisses, but also like when we play now, you see like
Dancing.
what live music does. It's this exactly. I mean,
When
it's
people
just you
started
can feel
dancing
it.
again at the playground,
Oh,
I got
man.
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
Right.
like people were dancing to Kanoa and Jess. I was like, this is how it should be.
Yeah, it's true.
You should be
Straight
sitting
up.
in a
Yeah.
chair with your legs.
It's but it's like it's what it means to be human, right?
Well, your band's so unique because you have the dexterity of this top-notch musicianship. All 4 of you bring something to that level that elevates the sound, but then the music's thoughtful and beautiful and the songwriting. So you're just like you're firing on all cylinders. It's
Right
not
on.
fair.
Finally.
All right?
Yay.
And you're each a character. You're
Totally.
funny.
Right
We're all
on.
the yeah.
You're
That's for
each
sure.
4 unique. Sometimes I love Hawaiian and Hawaiian and
Yep.
reggae, but sometimes I feel like it's like little carbon copies.
It's a little cookie cutter, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little, and for somebody, it's like, give me some
Yeah.
grit, give me some uniqueness, give me personality, and you guys have all that.
Yeah.
So.
Last gig, I introduced a safe word to the crowd.
The safe word.
So we're gonna do these couple songs for you. His safe word is banana.
Banana.
That's right.
So
All right, we're here live with Kanekoa. Yeah, when I went home, I'm losing time. I don't care. We started late. I don't care. All right, we do what we want. Thanks for tuning in.
This is
What
gonna
do
be
we
a
got
long
coming
one.
up next?
should we do? We thought about. We could check.
Let's
Do
do
the
long
run.
one.
We're gonna do this thing called the run, and the run is a. Let's see. It's one
Combination
song.
of songs.
A culmination. An
One,
amalgamation of songs.
two.
The run.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd call drums in space, but yeah. Anyways, but a little
Cosmic sonic forces.
The little trivia for you. This first song is a Los Lobos song, but it was featured in the movie Nacho Libre.
Yes.
So this is from
Tino is
Nacho Libre,
stoked.
but more importantly, Los Lobos. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Thank Watches while I sleep, watches while I sleep. Saint behind the glass watches me while I sleep. Coffee in the air, coffee in the air. Saint behind the glass smells coffee in the air. Curtains blowing round, curtains blowing round. Saint behind the glass, these curtains blowing round. Night upon my head, night upon my head. Saint behind the glass lays night upon my head. Mother, don't cry, mother, don't cry. Saint behind the glass tells mother not to cry. Mother, don't cry, mother, don't cry. Saint behind the glass tells mother not to cry. Far away and way down low, the belly of earth on Nahiku flow. Travel the rivers where Opai go, the belly of earth on Nahiku flow. the belly of earth, the Nahiku flow. Travel the rivers where Opai go, the belly of earth, the Nahiku flow. Far away and away down low, the belly of earth on our heat cool flow. Travel the rivers where old pike go, the belly of earth on our heat cool flow.
Woo!
I was like, are you done? Wow, that was every emotion possible. That was fantastic. Travis, you're a machine over there. It's so nice to see you. Kawada, I love you. Vince, masterful. As always, we love you. Don, it's so nice to see you again. I don't get to see you. I don't get to see you tickle that bass string. So
I have
much
been
anymore.
hiding.
You have been, sir. It's so nice to see you out and about. And if you're lucky enough to have tuned in, this has been such a great show. I do have time for one more, if you can do it.
Sure.
Can I? I want to say, do a little housekeeping, then we'll come back.
Cool.
Morning sun, hopefully. Maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's my request.
Sure.
But we've been having such a good time here with Kanekoa. Don't forget, guys, they are everywhere now, thanks to their management team of Aloha Growers.
Yay! Scott and Jill.
They're kicking butt, and it's always
triple
nice.
rations of grog.
Oh, it's so nice to have, see you guys. There's so much merchandise. I'm sporting merchandise. You can look at you guys are all drowned in it here.
We're all organized.
This is so organized, and you're doing fantastic shows. They're all unique and different. You can do something like Maui Coffee Addict, which is just a really intimate, awesome experience. You guys are killing those shows. Now we got Pro Arts coming up. You're doing something unique. Doing that Allman Brothers tribute, which of course has a special place in Vince's heart and all of your hearts, because you're obviously Allman Brother fans. 'Cause you have good taste. And then also, Nalu's has been really good to you, and you've done some great shows. And what is coming up on the mainland? We've got touring coming up. Tahoe.
Tahoe.
Yeah, we got the Crystal Bay Club at Tahoe, and that's kind of a
Tickets.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
The tickets are going on sale when?
I think
Next week?
It's Friday.
This Friday or
Oh.
something
That's
like that.
crazy.
Isn't
Frank
it
Sinatra's
crazy?
That's crazy.
Oh, how exciting. So if you are lucky enough, see, on Maui, we're just so blessed with you all the time. It's like, Kanekoa. Like, there's just, so now it's so cool to see you guys, getting that steam again, getting out there. It's going to be such really cool to see the next few years and what happens. So thanks so much for taking time out of your schedule. I love you guys.
Thank you, Trish.
From the tie-dye stages of 10-10-10,
Yes.
which I shared those memories
I
today.
saw that, yeah.
was hilarious. To anything, you guys have always supported the community and always playing with different beautiful artists. And thank you so much for coming on my radio show and just always being, such really good musicians to interview. It's refreshing. When you're awesome on and off the stage and you're just like real humans, it's really nice. So now you're organized real humans.
Yeah.
This is scary, guys.
That's what finally happened.
I know.
Yeah, well, we coated ourselves in like Jello and like
When you said you were going downstairs to get prepared, I was thinking of some flaming lips action. You guys are going to come up in like some hamster balls or some costumes. I'm not sure what's going on these days. I've worked with some bands that
happens.
have costumes.
it happens.
That was the agreement we had with Scott and Jill, is that no sequins.
Okay, no sequin. That's good.
Everything else is kind of game, but no sequins.
Conchos? Are conchos okay?
Yeah, yes. No. Well, the show couldn't be possible without, of course, Manawa Radio. Thank you so much to Michael Elam for holding it down. And then me, the Weekly Dish, of course. And then, of course, I got Venture Physical Therapy, who is my underwriter, and The Playground Maui, which is a great underwriter. And it's just really exciting to have the community come. We couldn't do this without you guys. This is a totally volunteer effort. We've got, Backlit Buddha Studios working in every nook. Cody, Quintana, I can't say enough good things about him and all the magic that's going on here.
Cody.
And so thanks so much for tuning in. In 2 weeks, we'll have Rowdy Love, which is a dynamo duo, husband and wife. They're fantastic. They've got a really unique country style. And then we'll have Drew Martin after that. He's a fantastic singer-songwriter and special artist. And he's got this beautiful new album about Eel Valley that he just wrote. So I'm really excited to get to know Drew a little bit better. And yeah, so thanks so much for joining us. One more from Kanekoa.
All right.
We're so excited. Don't forget, snag this album if you go to kanekoa.live. And also, I think it's koaheads.com, I want to say, is the merch site. And you can get all this cool swag. I mean, I'm decked out. We got Yoda decked out. Life is good when Kanekoa is here. So,
Yeah.
yay. So
This next song's on the new album, in G Love.
Woohoo!
G Love has a verse he wrote, and he plays harmonica on it. And It's pretty smooth.
He's the man.
He's the man.
It's a killer song.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be played anywhere. It's fantastic.
We think so too. Radio stations in the mainland, we think so too.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Everybody knows somebody.
Yeah.
'Cause that is how it works.
Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I gave your love away, even all the while, in my disgrace, in my shame, I brought you down in way. Every little was a lie, 'cause I gained my ground. All the while, well, the balance were my words. You never pulled too soon. Oh no, morning sun, woman, please forgive my grace. Morning sun, woman, please forgive my grace. I gave your love away, even all the while, in my never-ending way. I was just a damn fool. You whisper and you pray that I change my style, all the while, but I take it and I break it and I smoke it like I never even cared. Oh no, morning sun, woman, please forgive my grace. Morning sun, woman, please forgive my grace. Morning sun, woman, please forgive my grace. I say, morning sun, why he never please morning sun, morning sun, morning sun, morning sun.
Yes!
Right on.
That's so much better live than me on repeat at my house. We can just get G-Love here next time.
Yes,
Paul.
that's the plan.
Biggest part.
I was just thinking about how exciting it was. I think you guys were with G-Love as one of the last shows at Charlie's.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think Tavana was there,
That's
and
right.
Gretchen
Yeah,
Rhodes. I
Gretchen
mean,
Rhodes.
I
Awesome
remember
show.
that show.
Yeah.
And Justin
Right.
Morris. I mean, what a beautiful
It was
night.
pretty epic.
man.
And then like,
Then everything
and
shut
now I
down.
live by there. I still get that belly feeling.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, ah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charlie's had such a special place in the music scene, and
Oh,
so.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The whole building was falling down, but we all loved it.
Hey, right? But magic happened.
That's right.
Thank you guys so
Right,
much for
indeed.
being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Don Lopez, Vince Esquire. They're going crazy. Girls, relax. Kaulana, Kanekoa, and of course, Travis Rice. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I know
Appreciate anytime.
big things going on, and I
Right
just
on.
really appreciate you taking your time out to share the Mana'o, right?
Right
Thank
on.
you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, follow Kanekoa on all the social medias, and all the guys have their own page. They do a great job. And then, of course, Kanekoa.live is where you can check them out, get all that merch, get that new album, follow their tour. Thanks for supporting. All right, guys, we'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
I'm
Right on.
Trisha
Aloha,
Dish,
guys.
live from Mana'o at home. Thank you so much to my babe Chino for doing our little theme song. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting this awesome show. Peace, love, aloha. Keep it real for the homeschool. Yeah, we did it. Awesome job.
That's right.
Stuck that landing.
Stuck that landing.
Yeah, Cody! Woo! We did it! Thank you guys, that was excellent.
Right on. Thank you guys. Mahalo.
Cool.
Don't go anywhere. We're gonna do a group
We're gonna do a group shot. A sweaty one.
Yeah.
And if you guys need water, you need water.
Can we unplug things, Cody?
Thank you. Oh, look at this! That is the mama bear gets her wine.
Can we unplug things?
Yay! I didn't even know you were in there.
Vinny, Don. Are we taking a picture real quick? Don, D.